General Hospital spoilers for Thursday, March 5th show that Lulu starts to notice that Nathan's recent actions just don't make sense. It's not just one big slip-up, but a pattern. Hesitations before he answers. Times when he's not around without a reason. And how he quickly shifts the topic whenever some names come up. The more she thinks back on their talks, the more uneasy she feels. What used to feel like trust just feels like putting on a show. The uneasy feeling soon shifts into obsession. Lulu can't shake the feeling that Nathan might be keeping something a lot worse than she thought. Every time something doesn't add up, her doubts grow stronger, leading her to quietly look into herself. She starts going through timelines, looking at old messages, piecing together clues that nobody else seemed to catch. This has moved beyond just simple curiosity. It's something you have to face on your own. If Nathan has been twisting the truth, Lulu has to find it before things get completely out of hand. The more she digs, the more she starts to worry that what she might uncover could change everything. Brooklyn and Chase decide to go ahead with adopting, thinking that starting a family will make their marriage stronger. At first glance, it seems hopeful, just two people picking stability, love, and a future together. Brooklyn throws herself into the process with determination, treating it like a fresh chapter and maybe even a chance to move past all the chaos they've been dealing with lately. But underneath that hopeful momentum, there's something much more complicated going on. Chase can't shake the way he still feels drawn to Willow. It's not obvious, and he doesn't show it openly, but you can sense it in his small, quiet moments, like a little longer glance, the way he instinctively stands up for her, or how he puts her problems before others without thinking. What makes it even more dangerous is that he might not fully admit it to himself. The emotional undercurrent starts to change the adoption story into something a bit more unstable. Instead of just showing unity, it turns into a challenge of honesty. Brooklyn feels a distance she can't quite put into words. Chase is caught between staying loyal to his wife and dealing with feelings from the past that haven't gone away. The obsession slowly creeps in. If Chase keeps turning to Willow whenever there's drama or trouble, Brooklyn might start wondering if he's really prepared to be a dad or if he's still caught up emotionally with someone else. Wishing a joyful journey towards parenthood can sometimes turn into a real mental struggle. If that fracture grows bigger, the dream of adoption might end up revealing their deepest insecurities instead. Jason stands next to Britt as she feels the ground under her shift once more. The changes in her treatment plan were meant to bring some hope, a reset that could finally lead to some progress. The results are still unclear, unfinished, and frustratingly unsure. Every appointment that wraps up with some real progress feels like another small hit. Britt never breaks down in front of others. She just doesn't do that. Jason notices it. The brief flash of frustration hiding behind her calm, the tiredness she doesn't want to show. For Britt, not making any progress turns into something she can't stop thinking about. She sees time in a whole new way now. Every day that goes by without clear results feels like time slipping away. The medication meant to steady her condition hangs in a gray area caught somewhere between hope and disappointment. She starts doubting everything, her body, the science, and even her own strength. Not knowing even harder than hearing bad news. It keeps her stuck in a kind of limbo. Jason doesn't just offer empty reassurance. He simply shows up. Quiet, steady, silent. He tells her that setback doesn't mean the fight is over and that she's not alone in wading through it. But even the quiet fear that gets louder in stillness of the night. If the treatment doesn't work, what's the next step? The emotional shift changes them. Britt's openness breaks down her wall, and Jason's protective side only grows stronger. The fight isn't just about medicine anymore. It's become a mental struggle too. As hope flickers without quite catching fire, Britt feels the pressure from her focus on results starting to eat away at her inside. Brennan doesn't yell at Carly when he talks to her, but the quiet disappointment in his voice hurts, more than any shout would ever. He points out that her quiet meddling, digging into Valentine's past and trying to reveal links she doesn't fully grasp, has caused more disruption than she knows. In Brennan's world, information is like money, and time really matters. Carly's action, though meant to help, ended up throwing off the balance he had been trying to keep steady. What worries him the most isn't just about the operational risk, but the personal fracture it causes. Brennan has let himself care for Carly, which is something he doesn't often do. But since she won't trust him and chooses to dig deeper instead of opening up, he has to rethink things. In his world, love and unpredictability just doesn't go together. If Carly keeps digging into Valentine's shadow network, she's going to become a problem, and Brennan stays alive by not shielding weakness. Brennan's change in how he feels is quiet but really meaningful. He starts to pull away, trying to adjust how open he is. The warmth they once shared fades. Replaced by cautious thinking, Carly feels it right away. The silence between them feels thick, like they're both holding back things left unsaid. At the same time, Jocelyn senses the tension around her, but doesn't quite know where it's coming from. Her anxiety, already running high because of WSB and Valentine's hanging around, gets worse when she starts to see the tension between Brennan and her mother. If Brennan is changing because of Carly, and Carly is pushing because of Valentine, then Joss is stuck in the middle of a fight she can't do anything about. What started as a calculated move around Valentine has now turned into an emotional mess. Brennan's disappointment isn't just about secrets. It's about trust breaking down when it matters most. As he shifts his feeling for Carly, the ripple effect starts showing on Jocelyn, making the instability that everyone wanted to avoid even worse.